What's up, YouTube? This is Crispy, otherwise known as Biased in X79, and I have today's deck profile video ready to go. Blackwings. Alright, Blackwings have been an awesome deck since they've been released in the 5Ds era, which was a great time for synchros. And even though we have Master Rule 4 now, this deck can still churn out some pretty insane fields without having to use that many links in the extra. In fact, using the strategy I showed you guys in my previous 6 Samurai build about taking your low level synchros and building it up, this deck can still compete. Alright guys, we're just going to get right into it. As always, we will start with the monsters first, as you saw in my little bumper. Boom, 2 copies of Blackwing Blizzard, the Far North. This is a level 2 turner that when normal summon can bring back a level 4 or lower Blackwing monster from your graveyard in defense position. Downside is that Blizzard can't beat special summon, so that's why we're running him at 2. He's a great way to get into your level 6 synchros. Alright. One of the level 4s we are running at 3 is right here. Blackwing, Boar the Spear. Now, the cool thing about Boar is that whenever you control another Blackwing monster on the field, you can special summon this guy from the hand. And you can special summon multiples if you have multiples in your hand as well. So this is cool. It can also inflict piercing damage. Not going to really see that effect get much use when Link monsters are pretty dominant. But still, it is a good effect to have, and a special summoning is really what this deck needs, because in Master Rule 4 you want to get as many monsters on the field so you can build into your synchros, into your link plays, and really get this deck going. And speaking of running 3 ofs, I run 3 copies of Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Now, Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind is a level 3 tuner, just like Boar the Spear. If you control another Blackwing monster in the field, you can special summon from your hand. Cool thing about this card is that it also has a nasty little effect that you can do before you go into your synchro or your link plays, which is basically you could target one of your opponent's monsters and cut its attack by half. And that attack cut is a permanent drop, not just to the end of the turn. Being a level 3, it's an open door to your level 7 synchros. Okay, I run 1 copy of Blackwing Gladius, the Midnight Sun. Alright, Gladius, just like Bora and Gale, can also special summon them if you control another Blackwing monster. Unfortunately, you can only summon it once per turn by this effect, which is why we run it at 1 copy. Cool thing about it is that it can't be destroyed by battle, so you can actually keep this card on the field to help protect yourself a little bit. Alright, no Blackwing deck is complete without a pair of Kalutes. Kalutes are the hand trap of Blackwings. Discard during your damage step, and you can, during the damage step of either player's turn, and pretty much up your Blackwing's attack power by 1400. Okay. Now we have Blackwing Krista Crackadawn. Krista Crackadawn is similar to that of Gladius, where you can special summon it, but only once during your turn. Another thing is that it's also immune to the effects of spells and traps. It's a 1900, which makes it the strongest Blackwing main deck monster I'm running in my main deck. The immunity to spell and traps can allow you to keep it around in case your opponent drops a market key or even evenly matched, which is epic. And then since it's level 4, it gives you access to your rank 4 plays as well. Alright, continuing on with cards that can special summon themselves, we have 2 copies of Blackwing Orochi the Squall. Now, The reason why I run Orochi over Steam is basically because I never really got behind the whole token summoning thing in Blackwings. I think that kind of hurts the deck a little bit, because with Blackwings, you're really more interested in preserving your field presence than really taking stuff off of it. Now, if I was running maybe a hybrid Blackwing Lair of Darkness set, now Steam would definitely be in that deck, because you'll be able to utilize Lair of Darkness to take your opponent's monsters off the field to get it out of the graveyard. But since we're not doing that type of build, Oroshi's in it. Now, Orochi can special summon himself like Gladius, like Chris, which is basically, you can only get it out once per turn, but it being a level 1 monster can allow you to go from a level 6 synchro all the way up into a level 7. It's an excellent play to do. I can't tell you how good this card is. And if it leaves the field, you can flip a monster face down. You're not going to be doing that on Link monsters, but any other problematic monsters that could be flipped down, you can do that too. All right. Of course, we got another cool level 4, the OG level 4 that used to be at 3s, but now it's at 2s. Blackwing Shura, the Blue Flame. Basically, what Blackwing Shura does is that whenever it destroys a monster by battle, you special summon a monster out of the deck with, looks like 1500 or less attack. And its effects are negated, but still, it's an awesome thing. You can get your tuners out of your deck onto the field real fast, and you can then synchro afterwards. Or even Link. Or Xyz, depending on what monster you pull. Last monster we have is one copy of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Basically, this guy hits the graveyard. You can bounce a card off your side of the field, bring it back to your hand, special summon this guy out. The bounce back effect is pretty cool. Being level 4 opens up rank 4 plays, can help you get a level 4 monster onto the field for synchros, or just to add levels or to a synchro, or go into your Link plays. Alright, so that is it for the monsters. On to the spells. Alright, now speed and consistency is what this deck needs, and we run 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness, you draw 2 cards and you banish 1 Dark Attribute monster from your hand. Since all your Blackwings are Dark Attribute, you're going to always have the cards you need in the hand to get rid of. So you don't have to worry about having to discard your entire hand. Okay. And the other key card for consistency. 3 copies of the continuous spell Black Whirlwind. Whenever you normal summon a Blackwing monster, you can search your deck for a Blackwing monster with lower attack to add to your hand. Alright? I can tell you right now, this card has gotten a whole lot better now that we actually got Blackwing Nothing to Starlight, because it actually its effect actually adds another normal summon to your turn, which can then get you another search. Alright. Some new tech from Flames of Destruction. 2 copies of Called by the Grave. This is an effect negation card that can also take resources out of your opponent's graveyard. Basically, you banish a card from your a monster from your opponent's graveyard, and then your opponent can't use monster effects with monsters that of the same name that was banished. Pretty awesome card. Quick play spell can do it on your opponent's turn. And it's very changeable to things like Monster Reborn, Call the Hunted, etc. Alright, speaking of Monster Reborn, I do run Monster Reborn. It is your play extender. It is a staple trap that any deck needs. I run 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. Scale removal, random back row removal. I mean, if you don't like this, I would turn around strongly suggest something like Cosmic Cyclone over it. If you were running Steam in it, then I would turn around definitely say Twin Twisters over both this or Cosmic Cyclone. And of course I have your generic Board Wipe with Maikiki. On to the traps. This deck needs to preserve its field presence, so you need to have back row. No way around it. 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole. Destroys monsters with 1500 or more attack, banishes them, gets problematic boss monsters off the field and out of the game. Alright. I run 2 copies of Mirror Force to destroy your opponent's monsters when they attack. Now, if you don't like the destruction effect of the original Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force would be a great card to supplement with this. I just prefer the original. Of course, you gotta run the Solemn Strike to help negate monster effects and inherit special summons. Synchro, Xixies, and Links are still a thing. And of course we have Solemn Warning. Again, keep monsters off the field. And last but not least, some more recursion effects. Something, again, another new card from Flames of Destruction. Super Team Buddy Force Unite. Now, a lot of players here, they consider this card a negative draw when you're opening boxes. But in reality, this card is the sleeper secret rare of Flames of Destruction. There's no two ways about it. You target a monster on the field. Does that mean it's yours, or it could be yours or your opponent's, and you're allowed to special summon a monster of the same type but with a different name from either your hand or your graveyard. I can't tell you how insane this card is, especially in this deck. Just being able to get that extra special summon is amazing. And even if your opponent pops it, this card searches itself out and replaces itself. So it's a floater trap as well. And it helps thin your deck. Alright, Konami made the right choice about putting this card out and making it a secret because it's that good. Now, I like to run it at 2, but if you want to run it at 3, please be by all means, run it at 3. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. Talked about this guy a little bit when I had Black Whirlwind up. Blackwing, nothing to Starlight. This card is awesome. Whenever it summons, you hit your opponent with 800 points of damage, and then one of your opponent's monsters gets lowered by 800 attack. So, it's such a good effect. It makes problematic monsters like Saruja Skulldread a lot more easier to deal with. And like I said with Black Whirlwind, this card allows you to normal summon a second time, which means having a Black Whirlwind up with this card up, or even having multiple Black Whirlwinds up with this card up, is going to net you a whole lot of searches and pluses to your hand. Alright, on to the level 7s. I won 1 copy of Blackwing Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling. Chidori is pretty awesome. Like all Assault Blackwings, if you use Blackwing monsters as its materials, it becomes a tuner monster. It can be very handy if you're going more of the Ultimire Zokin type of route, but we're not doing that. I'm not doing that with this type of deck. Cool thing about it is it gains 300 attack points for every single Blackwing monster in your graveyard. So if you bring this guy out and you have a lot of and you've linked summon and synchro summon a couple of times, you're going to have a lot of Blackwing monsters in it, which means this guy can get really big, really fast. Another cool thing is if he ever leaves the field, you can target 1 Wing Beast synchro type monster in your graveyard and special summon it back to the field. That type of recursion is completely and totally epic, and I can tell you right now, it is very handy. Alright, next thing, Assault Blackwing. Raikiri, the Rain Shower. Raikiri has an awesome effect. I mean, just like Chidori, becomes a tuner when you use Blackwing monsters, but like I said, we're not really going to be focusing in on that. Cool thing about it is that you can actually destroy cards up to the number of other Blackwing monsters you control on the field with this guy's effect. It's completely and totally awesome with that effect to help wipe out boards, get rid of problematic cards. I tend to wind up having boards with both Raikiri and Chidori on the field. Raikiri close the field, this way Chidori can swing big. Level 7 I like to run Blackwing Tamer. Obsidian Hawkjoe. Basically, this guy can actually redirect attacks to different things. If you have hit Hawkjoe and Chidori on the field at once, you can, and Chidori is big, you can actually have Hawkjoe redirect an attack that's on him or another Blackwing monster to Chidori, and you can just keep doing damage. Another cool thing about Hawk Joe is that you can target one wing-based synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your field. Alright. Another cool card to have with Hawk Joe is this one, Blackwing Armor Master. Why Armor Master? Because Armor Master cannot be destroyed by battle, and you receive no damage from any battles involving it. So, having Hawk Joe force your opponent to swing into Armor Master just makes it a little bit better. If Armor Master, since Armor Master can't be destroyed, you can crash it into bigger monsters, put a wedge counter on it, and then your next turn remove the wedge counter just to bottom out that monster's attack. Okay. Still not done with the synchros. Now this is another cool thing from Flames of Destruction's 2 copies of F.A. Dog Dragster. The reason why this card is in there because it adds extra negations into your extra deck. You can negate spells, the activation of spells or traps, or their effects by sacrificing 2 levels from this monster, which is completely and totally cool. You get at least, it's a level 7, so you get at least 3 negations before you have to do something with it. You can either link it off, or then you can actually use your other Blackwings to build into another Synchro, or another Exceed, depending on what his level is. And of course, I run 1 copy of Sideframe Lord Omega. Basically, Omega can play keep away with your opponent's cards, but it's in there to help support your deck by getting any monsters you banished with Lord of Darkness back into the graveyard. On to the Xyz. Alright, now it shouldn't be a surprise. Rank 4 decks, you see the Utopia package in there just because it can help win new games and get over big monsters. I do run 1 copy of Raptor 4 Strix, basically because it's an extra search. And then you can link it off after you use up the searches. And of course, I actually take use of the Dark Attributes here and run number 66 Master Key Beetle. Now the primary reason why I'm running him in the deck is to help protect Black Whirlwind. His effect will allow you to target this card, basic spell card on the field, and his effect will protect him from being destroyed, and then if he's going to be destroyed, you can send the target card to the graveyard to protect himself. But the primary reason for him to protect Whirlwind, let me do it like this, is because one of the Link monsters I am actually running Firefighting Darumadal. Now, Darumadal gains 100 attack for every other Beast Warrior, or Wing-based monster in your, on the field. Pretty cool. So you can boost yourself up to at least maybe 2,000. But the reason why I'm using this lock type combo is because of his secondary effect, which is basically you can target 1 spell on your field and 1 spell on your opponent's field and destroy them both. Since this card is protected by Master Key Beetle, this card won't destroy this, but you will be destroying your opponent's card. So it's a free targetable card. It's kind of like having Beals and Scrap Dragon on the field and doing the same thing but with monsters. Another cool thing is that once per turn you can actually get a monster from your graveyard back into your hand. So it does offer some utility in this deck. Alright. And last Link monster I run is, of course, Saruja. Building into him, just get you a power boost on your monsters, an extra special summon per turn. And if you make it with 4 monsters, which is actually pretty easy to do with this deck, draw 4, send the other 3 back to your deck, and basically flesh out your hand. Okay. So that is my deck profile for Blackwings, for my Blackwing deck. I hope you guys like it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever I throw up a new video. Alright guys, so until next time, peace out.